speed. Hopefully they can get a good show here.
5 minutes, and the boats are heading out of the pits.
Yes, they are.
Right over to Tire Factory, turn number 2.
First boat coming out. Well, it's a dead heat coming out. J. Michael Kelly in the U9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Then it's Dave Villwalk in the U40 to Beacon Plumbing. Kelly, silver with white and orange trim. Villwalk into Beacon Plumbing, predominantly orange, trimmed in black. He's the second boat away. Then it is the Joker's Casino, the U11 with Jamie Nielsen. The lid is down on Jeff Bernard on the black and gold. Goodman Real Estate, 4 boats in Heat 1. It's the 2022 race. You got a great shot over there, Mr. Maselli. Boats right in front of you.
Oh, that I do as they come out, and you can just see, again, as soon as you start to hear those turbines kick on, everybody stops what they're doing. They look out onto the water, and now we've got a good group of boats going in a row, and now it looks like the last one finally now pulling away from the pits over by you guys.
Any clarification on the points, how this is all going to break down, since we've gone through a couple of different formulas as to how we're going to do the racing? How are the points going to break down? Anybody got a beat on that?
I do not have an official beat on that, but I'll bet tonight's dinner we're doing this just as normal, because in this format every boat is going to run 4 times. That's the way they do it in the Gold Cup format, and originally had we had more boats we were going to run a basic Gold Cup format. Everybody would run twice. I'm sure this is full points.
Jamie Nielsen has cut across the Esco Electric DMC to the front stretch, following J. Michael Kelly across the Mosteller start-finish line. And then you have Dave Villwalk on the outside in the bright orange, black, yellow trim, Beacon Plumbing.
Earlier today, had a couple of boats doing some testing. It looks like they were trying to score up on a buoy to see if they could hit that start-finish line. It'll be interesting to see this first heat if somebody's got the proper formula to hit that start-finish line at full speed and make it a clean start.
Just a reminder, all swimmers and waders, we need you out of the water, up on the shoreline. All spectators out of the river and up on the shoreline. Clock now just inside 3 minutes to the start of Heat 1. And Jamie Nielsen cut across the infield to the backstretch through the Esco Electric infield.
Keep an eye on those 2 boats going up the backstretch. Keep an eye on JMK and Dave Villwalk. Mike is staying tight to the buoy row. He is on the inside, 2:35 till the starts. I don't think either of those boats, in fact, any of the 3 of them up there, I don't think anybody's going to cut the race course. Nobody wants to be at start finish with 2 minutes. Now here goes Jeff. He's going to cut the course across the bottom end, and we'll see what he does. But watch him. He could conceivably cut the top end of the race course. We'll see what he does coming up on 2:10 right now.
So Jamie Nielsen close to the buoy line at the exit pin of our White's Finish Furniture turn number 4.
Can he get around in another 2 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about right at that 80-mile-an-hour mark.
So he's trying to keep lane 1.
But J. Michael Kelly's behind him, also in that same lane. So something will have to give here. Dave Villwalk is on the outside, but it looks like he might edge in a little bit. I wonder where he's going to end up. And just off the exit pin now of White's Finish Furniture Hardwoods turn 4 is Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91.
And Dave is doing some S-turns coming down the front straightaway to scruff off a little bit of time. Jamie is down here at 1:26, my mark. You don't want to be here before 1:30, so it's going to be a little tight for Jamie. He cannot go below 80 miles an hour. So here comes Kelly. He is behind in the corner, still sitting in lane 1, but Nielsen
Goodman boat with Bernard across the Esco Electric DMZ.
Oh, he's early. He's early. 1:07.
That's a big move. Remember, we saw some of those 80-mile-an-hour penalties happen at Guntersville, Brad.
We sure did, and that's a gutsy move. There is still 50-plus seconds before the start, and Jeff's already up at the top end. I was thinking perhaps Jamie Nielsen was a little on the early side, but Jeff's...
HitPaw Video Enhancer is an AI video quality enhancer.
Way out in front of him, 43 seconds.
Well, and remember, guys, in the E350s yesterday, we had some issues with timing as well, and a lot of the crews that were involved in the races we saw with them yesterday.
Doesn't look like he's going 80 miles an hour to me.
It's a tough one, isn't it? He's just inside 30 seconds.
See if he goes way wide.
He's going extremely wide now at the top end in lane number 3. Maybe he's cut it back to the inside. We're at 20 seconds.
Watch Villwalk and Kelly.
This is going to be close.
Yeah, so in lane number 1, you've got Bernard in the 91. Lane number 2,
10 seconds.
Nielsen. Lane number 3 is going to be J. Michael Kelly. Lane number 4 will be Dave Villwock.
He's early.
He's early.
Early.
He jumped the gun by 3 seconds. 2-1 mark, and it looks like a clean start. And it's J. Michael Kelly leading as they come down the front stretch. He's in lane number 3.
Bernard's going to get down here first, but you guys called him across the line. That is J. Michael Kelly. He's got almost a full rooster tail on Villwock, and then it's back to Nielsen in fourth.
Here now as they round Tire Factory turn number 2. As you mentioned there, Villwock again leading right now, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out as we've got now coming up on the outside that orange and black of the Miss Beacon Plumbing trying to close some ground.
Yeah, Dave Villwock is trying to run down J. Michael Kelly, but on the backstretch, J. Michael Kelly's got the boat speed. Your race leader out on the course is Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91, the black and gold boat, but he was early across the start-finish line. The review is underway upstairs officially.
Official
we'll
jump.
More news.
He jumped it. That's an official from the
Okay.
H1.
So the 91, and we counted him as good 3 seconds early at the start-finish line, just out of shape after cutting through the Esco Electric infield. He will cross start-finish line first at the end of lap number 1. J. Michael Kelly in second place, the Miss Tri-Cities.
148.46 on the first lap.
The third place boat is Dave Villwock, but he's second because of the penalty for going early for the Goodman Real Estate 91. Jamie Nielsen has not been able to find good boat speed, and he is the trailing boat heading down into All Doors Incorporated turn number 1.
Yeah, now here at Tire Factory turn number 2, same situation. We do seem to see that orange and black boat closing a little bit of ground now. We mentioned Bernard with that early start. Not so much incentive perhaps to keep going, but to be determined now as they work along the Griggs backstretch towards Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
J. Michael Kelly is going to go ahead and pass Bernard in lane number 2 and head around the top end of the course. Shell Sun Pacific Energy turn number 3 into White's Finished Furniture turn number 4. And our Buffalo Brothers friends in turn 4. Pretty good racing action. J. Michael Kelly is going to claim the lead away from Bernard as they come across the start-finish line, and the white flag is out. One more lap to go, and it does not look like Dave Villwock will have enough boat speed or enough real estate to challenge. J. Michael Kelly getting a little bit out of shape coming down the front stretch into All Doors turn number 1.
Yeah, he's getting down here. He's to the entrance pin right now. He's got almost 2 rooster tails on Dave Villwock. Dave Villwock is running third on the water. He is in second place, Derek.
Yeah, again, at this point, it does seem like it's J. Michael Kelly's to lose, but stranger things have happened. He's got about a rooster tail, maybe a rooster tail and a half lead.
A little bit of rough water for the Goodman Real Estate 91 and Jeff Bernard heading through a sloppy turn number 2. Back up the back stretch, it is a 2 rooster tail lead for your race leader. That's J. Michael Kelly. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Into Sun Pacific Energy, Shell Sun Market turn number 3 to the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. Checkered flag is out. Dave Villwock is going to pass up Bernard in turn number 4, but swings way out wide. Bernard may be able to hold him off on the front stretch. Across the start-finish line, checkered flag is out. J. Michael Kelly gets heat number 1 victory. Second place will go to Dave Villwock in the Miss Beacon Plumbing. Third place will be Jamie Nielsen. And again, the Goodman Real Estate boat in the 91, a little bit early across the start for Jeff Bernard.
A good boat ride.
Unfortunate series of events for Bernard, cutting across the
It was a bold move.
the DMZ, the Esco Electric DMZ, but if he would have continued, he would have been able to stay clean and maybe have good momentum at start.
Jimmy Shane there coming into turn 2 before Villwock went airborne coming out of that exit pin turn 1, and so it'll be interesting to see where they pick up now.
What was interesting to watch on the video, Derek, is that it seemed like Villwock started to lose it a little bit just on the front stretch before he really started to enter even turn number 1. That's where the boat started to take off, and it was one complete flip. Once again, swimmers, we need you out of the water, up on the shoreline. Everybody out of the Columbia River, Pasco side, Kennewick side, everybody up on shore, please.
You guys were talking about how this might change the dynamic of this particular heat. First thing we noticed, J. Michael Kelly came out of the pit area the exact same way he did last time. Came out like a house of fire, and he ran pretty quick up the first part of the back chute, has pulled his foot a little bit. See if he doesn't slow down way up at the other end. But the other piece coming into play here is, remember, yesterday we were discussing the number change. And there goes Kelly backing it down again. Remember yesterday we discussed the number change from J. Michael Kelly's boat number 8. They've changed it to number 9. So his points get added on to the hull that Corey Peabody was driving. Why did they do that? Because there's only a couple hundred points difference between the 9 and the 1, Jimmy Shane's home street. So there's some big-time national high points at play here.
And of course, Jamie Nielsen wants to finish the heat and get points of his own, but you know, they've come a long way with that motor mount issue. They had to thrash on that boat Friday to get it ready. And now they're out on the race course and fighting for lanes. We're at 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the rerun of Heat 2 for the Unlimited Hydroplanes, the Hapo Columbia Cup here in Hydro Cities, Tri-Cities. Glad you're along for the ride in Columbia Park on the Kennewick shoreline, over at Wade Park on the Pasco shoreline. What a great sight to see this Saturday afternoon.
That it is, as they make now the home street boat with Jimmy Shane rounding Tire Factory turn number 2. Man, that thing can just fly, and they all look so seamless out there. Again, J. Michael Kelly and Miss Tri-Cities hugging that inside lane, and we do have Miss Joker's Casino looking for their redemption run. After they finished third, they were disqualified for falling under 80 in that first heat, so they've got a lot to fight for here as well.
Coming up the backstretch, Jimmy Shane. He's on the outside, and I think that's where he's going to stay. He set up in lane number 3 last time when they were out there with Bill Walk outside. See if Jimmy jumps to the inside, and it looks like maybe he's jumping across the DMZ. Esco Electric infield to the front stretch. Clock at 2:17.
He's early. He's early. He better have his foot in it. And
well,
he does. He does. Wow. He's going to come all the way down. Now he may make a hard left-hand turn.
I think he's going to. He is. He's going to take the turn for the Grand Prix boats over to the backside. So another Esco Electric infield incursion. Jimmy Shane heads to the backstretch. Meanwhile, on the front stretch, with 1 minute and 50, you've got J. Michael Kelly in the 9.
Tell me when he crosses start-finish.
And that would be now. And
okay.
He's not going really fast either. And Brad, they have telemetry readings for the 80-mile-an-hour situation, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's all being monitored.
So here comes Mike down to the lower end at a $125 right now. I think he's in pretty good shape. He'll have to stay at 80 miles an hour for a bit. He gets right to the entrance pin now at 117. Then it's going to be Jamie Nielsen in the Joker's Casino. He's going to slot himself into lane number 2. Jimmy Shane's going to wind this blue and white boat up hard on the outside. Derek, he's starting to put the foot down a little bit, but we're coming up on 1 minute to the start of Heat 2.
J. Michael Kelly just coming off the exit pin of turn number 2, Tire Factory turn number 2 in lane number 1. Then you've got Jamie Nielsen in lane 2 on the outside. The home street with Jimmy Shane in lane number 3. As they
45 seconds. 45 seconds.
And they are directly across from the start-finish line here at the Brutzmann's Memorial Barge. It's the parade lap. Do they have any indication in the cockpit on that 80-mile-an-hour situation too, Brad?
Yes, they do.
All right, so they're well aware of that when it does occur. Back up to the top end of the course into Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. J. Michael Kelly to the apex.
15 seconds, Mark, 15.
That's the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities lane number 2. Miss Joker's Casino with Jamie Nielsen lane 3. Miss Madison
5.
Home Street
4.
1 with Jimmy Shane
3, 2, 1. Mark.
It is a perfectly clean start from our vantage point. On the outside, that's where you find the boat speed. But look at Jamie Nielsen. He's in the tunnel. He's going to try to take second place away from J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to do it. When they get down there, absolutely dead even. And I'll tell you what, Jimmy Shane's way on the outside, Derek.
Don't know what happened to Derek in Tire Factory turn number 2, but we'll take over from here as they get to the exit pin. Jamie Nielsen really backed out on the throttle. Looks like he may have lost some power heading into Tire Factory turn number 2. So on the backstretch, you've got Shane in the lead on the outside. J. Michael Kelly, he's about 3 boat lengths back as they come up that backstretch, the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, and dive into Sun Market turn number 3. Both boats into the turn to the apex with Rattlesnake Mound. A little bit hazy this afternoon in the backdrop. They get to the exit pin of White's Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4. They are deck to deck. Jimmy Shane is going to squirt forward and take the lead away as they come to the start-finish line and across at 159.061 miles per hour. It's Jimmy Shane with the lead in the home street, heading into All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1.
Home street, Jimmy Shane walks the sponsons to the entrance pin of the corner, but Kelly staying right with him on the inside, Derek.
Let's go! Put your hands together for the world-famous Harlem.
So it's on the inside, J. Michael Kelly with the short course around, and he was able to reel in Jimmy Shane just a little bit, but Shane starts to pull away on the backstretch. This is where you really watch on the Griggs backstretch to see which boat has the power. And right now it's Jimmy Shane in the home street, and he is starting to pull away, almost a full rooster tail lead. Now, J. Michael Kelly has the opportunity to cut in that lead as they head into Shell Sun Market turn number 3. To the apex. J. Mike with a really nice turn on the inside, hugging the buoy line, but Jimmy Shane with boat speed on the outside, and he's going to be impossible to catch in that one home street as they come across the Mosteller start-finish line. It's a half a rooster tail lead for Jimmy Shane coming down the front stretch.
Yeah, it is Jimmy Shane, and he is showing some incredible speed. And he's also letting J. Michael Kelly know, I let you get on the inside of me, and you still can't run with me. Home street back, Jimmy Shane.
Easily a rooster tail length lead now. Sorry guys about that delay. We're back in action here at turn number 2. Generator ran out of fuel, but we're good. So it is that home street boat again, a rooster tail length lead over Miss Tri-Cities and J. Michael Kelly now as they enter the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, and the white flag out on the course for Jimmy Shane in Heat 2 in the Miss Madison.
Jimmy Shane's first lap of 159 miles an hour. I believe that's going to be another course record in a heat qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the cream of the field right now for Jimmy Shane. Just an incredible boat ride. He's bringing it home, Mike.
And up the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4. Jimmy Shane onto the front stretch. Checkered flag is out. Home street gets the victory with Jimmy Shane in the Miss Madison. Second place, J. Michael Kelly in the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities the 9. Jamie Nielsen just getting into turn number 3, the Shell Sun Market turn to the apex, and now
Be the U11 Jokers Casino. Jamie Nielsen's going to come away first. Then it's Black and Gold, the 91 with Jeff Bernard. That is the
Jeff Bernard is the Goodman Real Estate entry, Miss Madison number 2 boat.
And then the other Madison entry, the blue and white Miss Home Street, Jimmy Shane. He is away from the dock. 1, 2, 3. Derek, they're all coming your way. We're inside 5 minutes to the start of Heat 3 for our H1 Unlimiteds in the 2022 Columbia Cup. Let's go racing, my friend.
And it's good to see Nielsen in that bright yellow Miss Joker Casinos one leading the pack here for now as they just get set, get ready, and try and get ready for this. Of course, we know Jimmy Shane with that possible record set in the heat last, was it yesterday? Should be an interesting tone to watch here again now as they get set up here, coming now round Tire Factory turn 2 all the way down the Griggs backstretch toward that Sun Pacific Energy turn 3 marker.
Now the Grand Prix America boats, they have assigned lanes. The E350s, they don't, and obviously the H1 Unlimiteds, they don't. So the race before the race is underway with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of Unlimited Heat number 3. And it looks like, yep, cutting across the Esco Electric infield was Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91.
Earlier during the boat races, he cut across way too early yesterday. Not only got disqualified, not only had the 80-mile-an-hour violation, but also jumped the gun by almost 3 full seconds by our count.
That was an error that I'm sure they reviewed and took a look at video to retake your marks out on the course, your timing marks, and make sure you don't do that again. Learn from your mistake.
So far, Jimmy Shane has made 0 mistakes this boat race weekend. Doesn't matter if he's on the inside or the outside. Of course, he's got the gear, he's got the prowess. He's definitely the guy to beat. All the drivers know that coming into today's competition.
Check out that move by Jamie Nielsen right there. He cut the course. Bernard came all the way down here to the bottom. Jamie was on the outside of Jeff, and he cut the lower end of the race course off. Now finds himself on the inside and a little bit out in front of Mr. Bernard.
2 minutes and 35 seconds to the start of Heat 3 for the H1 Unlimiteds Hapo Columbia Cup action.
Boy, and since we've been racing yesterday, Jimmy Shane in the U1 home street has been on a first-name basis with those outside course markers.
Yep.
Derek, he was right up against him.
Oh, yeah, and that continues to be the case. Hey, he's found where he likes out on the course, and it seems to be working for him. I think one of the more interesting situations here that we'll have to be watching for with Jamie Nielsen and, of course, the U91 Goodman Real Estate boat as well is those timing on those starts, and I think both actually were disqualified from some heats yesterday for falling under 80 miles per hour in these earlier rounds in this race before the race.
Exactly.
Well, I can tell you right now, those two guys coming down the front straightaway are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they went way out wide at the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwood's turn number 4 to scruff off a little bit more speed. They're just across start-finish line now.
Jamie Neal. He's running, he's doing the S curves.
He's going to jump. No, he's going to just kind of do that S move, that snake move down that straightaway to
Obviously,
stay above 80 if he can and be in the right position if he can.
when you're on the outside like Jimmy Shane is prone to do, obviously you're covering more area, but when you're diving into turn 1, there's just not that much water there. What's the advantage of staying outside with that boat speed, Brad?
Clean water. Clean water's the big one there. If you've got enough boat speed to field to drive around everybody, if you can get clean water out there, then you can go for it. Coming up on 1 minute, I think they're going to be okay. Also looks like Bernard's going to be on the outside, and this time Jimmy Shane will tuck in the center position unless he moves out now. Watch him, Derek, and I think he just did.
He did. He just jumped the wake. He's now moved to that outside lane. Staying right where he likes, as you mentioned, Brad, that cleaner water.
Well, that's where he won yesterday, lane number 3. So on the inside, the 11 Jokers Casino with Jamie Nielsen. Lane number 2 will be the Goodman Real Estate 91 Miss Madison with Jeff Bernard. The other Miss Madison boat, the 1 Home Street with Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 as they head up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Nielsen in 1, Bernard in 2, Shane in 3. Countdown is on. 18 seconds to the start of Heat 3 as they come to the apex and now around the exit pin of turn number 4 with our Buffalo Brothers friends in the camp up at turn number 4. Hitting the throttle now. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. Ooh,
Good start.
It's a really clean start. That was really close for all the boats. The boat speed though on the outside. Jamie Nielsen's on the inside track. He'll get down there first, but look at the outside boat, the Home Street. It's a clean start, by the way. It's a good start.
Absolutely, it was a good start down to the lower corner. It was Bernard that got down here first with lane position, Derek.
Yeah, phenomenal start and phenomenal turns here as now Bernard looks like he was taking the lead out of that turn 2, but along the Griggs backstretch here, that Home Street boat, Jimmy Shane, we know he's quick and he looks to be now pulling ahead.
Yeah, but watch Bernard in lane number 2. He's going to challenge Jimmy Shane as they come up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. They'll be diving into Sun Pacific Energy, Shell Sun Market, turn number 3, and it's Bernard with the lead, at least for now. Jamie Nielsen's in lane number 1. He'll gain a little ground on that inside lane as they come to the exit pin of turn number 4. It's the Goodman Real Estate boat with the lead by about 4 boat lengths over Jimmy Shane. Nielsen falling back a little bit in 3rd place now, about a half rooster tail back of the leaders. Now it's Shane challenging on the outside in the Home Street. He's going to pass Bernard as they head into All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1.
Madison Racing running 1-2, just not sure which one's first. It would be the Goodman Real Estate 91 with Jeff Bernard.
Oh, and they are close, but Jimmy Shane dances those sponsons a little bit in that turn. He lost a little bit. He'll have to make it up here along this Griggs backstretch where he's got that speed on the outside. Meanwhile, Miss Joker's Casino boat, Jamie Nielsen still hanging out that third about a rooster tail back.
Jeff Bernard, first lap speed, 149.3. Second place, the Home Street, 147.2.
Deck-to-deck racing, Sun Market, turn number 3 into Woods Finished Furniture, turn number 4, deck-to-deck with Goodman Real Estate on the inside, Miss Home Street on the outside. It's Jimmy Shane challenging at the Mosteller start-finish line, and he will regain the lead coming down the front stretch. And this is where Jeff Bernard really needs to stay on it. If he wants to have a chance, he's going to need to get in this corner first.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get down here first. Shane's going to get down here first, but only by about a boat length in the Home Street on the outside. outside. Derek, right to you.
Yeah, and Bernard again, he cuts close inside here along that buoy, and they're close now coming out of Tire Factory turn 2, but it appears that Jimmy Shane is hanging on to this lead now more than a few boat lengths ahead. Call it half a rooster tail on the outside down the Griggs backstretch.
Jimmy Shane, lap 2, 154.7. That's Jimmy Shane in the U1, a 154 turn to lap number 2.
And Jimmy Shane now is pulled away, coming down the Griggs backstretch into Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Jimmy Shane with the lead as they come off the top end of the course. Checkered flag is coming out for Heat 3 for the Unlimiteds. Shane with the lead at the exit pin. Bernard's on the inside in the Goodman Real Estate. He's pulled almost even with him, but look at Shane with that speed on the straightaway to the Moss Tiller start-finish line. The checkered flag is out. Jimmy Shane in the home street takes the checkered flag.
But a boat race and a message sent. Hey, he will not go away.
Jeff Bernard, 91 Goodman Real Estate, a perfect run except for that final lap in Tire Factory turn number 2. Had to back off the throttle a bit, and that cost him going on to the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch.
But that was competitive. There's no question about it. A very competitive boat race.
Jimmy Shane again winning on the outside.
That have come up through the ranks. They've excelled all the way to this point, and they are in the fastest race boats in the world. They know how to handle it. They just got to know what it is. Right in front of Derek is the Chartreuse in royal blue. That is the U11, the Jokers Casino. Met some Jokers Casino people during the air show. Some great folks here. They're having a great time. Also had a conversation. Boy, they're doing this right in order. The powder blue and white, the U1 is Home Street. Met some of their folks, and all of a sudden we've had the lid down on the 91, the Goodman Real Estate, and now all of a sudden crew members have jumped on board and the lid has gone up. J. Michael Kelly's boat is still sitting at the dock. They haven't even tried to pull that one away. The nose is still up snug against the dock. I'll throw it back up to you guys, and I'll keep an eye on the pit area down here, but now perhaps a little bit of drama with the 91, the Goodman Real Estate.
Let's head over to Tire Factory turn number 2, and Derek Maselli for News Radio 610 KONA. The one thing that I noticed, the wind is coming right at me now, and so it's got to be right at your back as you look up towards the top end of the course.
Yeah, that's exactly the case, but the water still looks pretty smooth.
It does.
Out here, actually. So I don't anticipate, at least until maybe the guys start chopping it up themselves, as we've got a full slate of races coming up this afternoon. Right now, it's still looking pretty much like glass out there, despite what is definitely a noticeable breeze at my back now.
Here comes Kelly.
So J. Michael Kelly is away in the Lynx Healthcare, presents Miss Tri-Cities, the 9, but still Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, the Miss Madison 2, is not out from the pits.
Now, and he's still got crew members on board, and the lid is still up, so they're in trouble. They're scrambling down there. On my watch, we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. He's got to be out on the race course in a planing attitude at the 1 minute mark. He's got about a minute and a half.
So the boats are all on the backstretch right now. J. Michael Kelly on the inside. Now you see Jimmy Shane on the outside heading up to Sun Market turn number 3, our friends with Sun Pacific Energy. Now as the boats come around the top end of the course to the apex and to the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4, that's where they'll start to pick up that breeze head on.
So
and that's what we'll be watching.
Quickly, like Brad was saying, within a lap, maybe within this lap, they have a chance to figure it out.
Jamie Nielsen ducks through the ESCO Electric infield from back to front stretch and jumps in front of J. Michael Kelly and Jimmy Shane.
About a minute left for it to get away from the dock.
Yeah, the clock is on for Jeff Bernard and the Goodman Real Estate. Jimmy Shane's going to come down at a fairly good clip across start finish, and I think he's going to leapfrog in front. He may want an inside lane for this race. Now he's going to jump across the ESCO Electric infield to the backstretch.
Yeah, he was going way too fast to come all the way down the race course. I expect he's going to go up and cut again up at the top end. You know my timing marks. It's a minute 30, and it's a minute 30 right now. And Jamie, boy, he's here early, and he's trying to scruff off some time. He's staying outside the buoys. Meanwhile, down in the pit area, there's about 4 people on the deck of the Black and Gold.
Wow.
It does not look good as they're coming up on 15 seconds, and it doesn't look good for the Goodman Real Estate.
Jimmy Shane across the ESCO Electric DMZ to the front stretch, Brad. You called it. He's coming down the front stretch, heading to All Doors Incorporated, turn number 1. Is he going to dive across here?
Nope, he's going to come all the way down. And we're inside 1 minute. That's it for the Goodman Real Estate. They're out. You're going to have a 3-boat heat. Jamie Nielsen's going to be in lane 1 again. He's been there all weekend. See if he can make it work this time. You got him.
J. Michael Kelly setting up in lane number 2. And lane number 3 has been a good one so far for the one Home Street Bank and Jimmy Shane. So the boats now heading to the top end of the course with 35 seconds to the start of Unlimited Heat 4.
And to my recollection, the last 3 of these unlimited heats, all of the drivers have pretty much synchronized their marks and have gotten to the start-finish line. It's been very close, but we've had a good start on all the races except the one yesterday. Coming down the stretch, 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
Early.
Jamie Nielsen off the exit pin at turn number 4 onto the front stretch. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. It is a clean start, but the boat speed's all the way on the outside. It's going to be the home street. Jimmy Shane leading down the front stretch. J. Michael Kelly's in the tunnel in between.
Yeah, he's definitely, Shane has tightened it up a little bit. It's going to be a little tight in there for Kelly, but he's on the inside. Derek, you got a better view.
And there he is, bouncing left and right and back again. Still staying good on that outside in lane 3. Meanwhile, J. Michael Kelly, maybe half a rooster tail behind now in that lane number 2, and then hugging the inside. That missed Joker boat. It's Jamie Nielsen, where he likes to be as well, as they now work down the Griggs backstretch off towards Sun Pacific Energy, turn number 3.
Yeah, Jamie Nielsen really had to back off the throttle. He got lumpy in Tire Factory turn number 2. He backed off. J. Michael Kelly's now fallen about a half a rooster tail behind. He's in lane number 2. On the outside is your race leader. That's the one, the home street with Jimmy Shane. Beautiful turn at the top end of the course at the exit pin at turn number 4 for Jimmy Shane. Back onto the front stretch, and Kurt will have a time as he comes across the Mosteller start-finish line.
154.299 miles an hour.
That is cooking. J. Michael Kelly's hot on his heels, but he's back a rooster tail as they head to All Doors turn number 1.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly's giving ground to Jimmy Shane. Shane's already at the apex just as Kelly gets to the entrance, Derek.
Yeah, and this is huge, guys. Remember, right now, this team with the Miss Tri-Cities that links U9, the U8 situation that we had with that crash, they're actually not that far behind this Miss Madison crew in in the national point standings right now. So that's definitely a matchup to watch as they work now down that Griggs backstretch off toward Sun Pacific Energy turn number 3.
Yeah, and they dive into turn number 3, and it's almost a 2 rooster tail lead now for Jimmy Shane in the home street as he comes around at the apex and the exit pin of turn number 4. J. Michael Kelly trying to reel him back in, but he's not going to have enough real estate. And the boat speed, it's been just perfect all weekend long for Jimmy Shane in the Madison home street. The one. Here comes J. Michael Kelly across start-finish line, but he's 2 rooster tails back of our race leader, Jimmy Shane.
Yeah, Shane's coming down here. He's really opened up the water now. He can drive anywhere he wants to go. Got plenty of lead on J. Michael Kelly, but he's still staying out wide. He's flying the boat at the apex, coming right to Derek.
Yeah, still at this point seems like it's really his race to lose, but now J. Michael Kelly cuts it inside on that turn, took it tight. He's still got a lot of ground to cover, probably a rooster tail and a half or so down this Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, but as we watch from across the pond, Derek, you can just see that the home street is starting to pull away on the Griggs backstretch.
Shane backing off the throttle just a touch. Lap number 2, 151. Still cooking, but not like lap number 1. He's just enjoying the ride now.
It's been a good one and another great start. No, Jamie Nielsen and the Jokers has moved outside. Remember, he had lane number 1 at the start. He's moved outside into lane number 3, allowing J. Michael Kelly to get in closer to the buoy line and have some clean water. So across start-finish line in Heat 4 is the H1 U1 for the checkered flag for Jimmy Shane, and it is out. Second place finish for J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Jamie Nielsen just coming off of the exit pin of White's Finished Furniture and Hardwoods, turn number 4 onto the front stretch to get 3rd place points in heat number 4. And a special thanks now, we've had our changes with the heat situation, but there are a number of Waterfally sponsors that have come together to make their 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. We are 5 minutes away from the start of heat number 5.
I look for the U91 to put together a good run this time. He's due.
Good news to start. The 91.
Hey, hey.
91 is away from the dock. Jump Bernard, Goodman Real Estate. starts to slowly spool up that Lycoming turbine. The beautiful black and gold Goodman Real Estate. Bernard is going to be the first up and on a plane. Going to be followed by teammate Jimmy Shane driving the blue and white in this home street. And as he did in the last heat, J. Michael Kelly in the 9 is just sitting at the dock. They haven't even pushed the nose out toward the center of the river. He hasn't yet tried to light the candle on the U9. The Lynx presents Miss Tri-Cities Lynx, but you had both from Madison, Indiana.
Yeah, we get a good look at this team. It's always fun when teammates race against each other, but that doesn't make it any less competitive, of course.
Yeah, we saw during the day today. We saw the two of them. Jeff Bernard was able to hold off Jimmy Shane for a couple of laps before the blue and white boat finally got the better of him on the 3rd lap.
So the two Madison boats now heading up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch. Shell Sun Market turn number 3. That's where you see Jeff Bernard in the Goodman Real Estate 91. And to the Apex and to White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Our Buffalo Brothers friends are up there.
Here comes Kelly. They're just pushing the nose out toward the river, and he is under his own power moving away from the dock.
So that changes up where he's going to want to be out on the race course, and we've seen him do this before, Brad.
Yeah, I'm not sure it changes it up for him. I think this is clearly the plan.
No, exactly.
Yeah, this was clearly his plan, and you know, you always want to mix it up a little bit. Don't always let your competitors know exactly what you're going to do. So he's mixed it up a little bit. Here comes Jimmy Shane, hard down the front straightaway. Boat's so light on its feet. Beautiful water conditions. His spotter will tell him there's a boat in front of him. That is J. Michael Kelly. Derek right in front of you, the blue and white.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly leading now these two other Madison boats, but even though we're still in the race before the race motion, it really looks like that home street boat and Jimmy Shane are just content to be on the outside. I don't anticipate them trying to get any inside further than lane 3 where they're at right now.
I don't either, Derek. I think you've got it exactly right, and Jimmy kind of alluded to it. They've run this big course setup as they talk about it, and one of the big components of that is the bigger wheel, the bigger propeller. Wind it up. It may not accelerate as fast as maybe another setup, but once they get it up to speed and he winds it up, it's proven to be really, really fast.
2 minutes and 8 seconds until the start of heat number 5 for the Unlimiteds. Oh, we've got an incursion in the Esco Electric infield through the DMZ. Is Bernard in the 91, Goodman Real Estate onto the front stretch, just in front of J. Michael Kelly. Down at the bottom of the course, Jimmy Shane in the home street's going to cut front to back.
Yeah, keep an eye on Kelly here. This might be a little interesting.
Minute 45.
I think Kelly would like to be on the inside, but I also think he's got to come all the way down now at a minute 40. I think they're going to have to come all the way down here to the bottom end, so I don't think Mike can move.
Watch the 80-mile-an-hour situation with the two boats coming down the front stretch.
I think they're going to be okay. They're inside a minute 30, have not yet got to the entrance pin. Bernard's going to get there in probably 2-1 mark. He is there at 1:20, so
could be good.
He'll have to play it a little bit close to the vest, Derek. He's going out a little bit wide, knowing Kelly's still outside of it.
Yeah, it really is interesting to see this. We know Shane is going to be in that number 3 lane. So the question here is this jockeying for positioning between Bernard and J. Michael Kelly. And right now, everything seems to be holding as it has been the last lap or so.
Watch on the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch.
Shane had his foot in it for a while now. He seems to ease into a nice groove. He's been the most consistent, hitting the marks, scoring up, hitting the start-finish line right on time.
35 seconds. Heat 5 for the H1 Unlimiteds. Heading up the backstretch now, getting into turn number 3 for Sun Pacific Energy. The Shell Sun Market turn, Goodman Real Estate, and Bernard. Bernard puts his foot into it. 21 seconds to the start. J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2, and the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. On the outside, Jimmy Shane in lane number 3 in the 1, Home Street Bank. And the countdown is on to heat number 5.
4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Good
And
start.
it is a clean start. The boat speed is on the outside, as it has been all weekend long. In lane number 3, it's Jimmy Shane in the home street.
It is Jimmy Shane in the home street, but let me tell you, you could throw a blanket across all 3 of these these boats as they get down here. And again, with all the boats off to the left, it is you, Derek.
Yeah, he is just sailing, Jimmy Shane, that is, along the outside. You figure he might give up a little bit on inside that Tire Factory turn number 2 to either Bernard or J. Michael Kelly, but Jimmy Shane in that Miss Home Street still able to maintain what appears maybe a boat or 2-length lead.
And we lost J. Michael Kelly in the hallway for just a minute as they were coming through the exit pit of Tire Factory turn number 2. They're up the Griggs Ace Hardware backstretch, and it's going to be the race leader on the outside, Jimmy Shane in the home street. On the inside, Jeff Bernard's going to edge in front of J. Michael Kelly. Kelly in 2, Bernard in lane 1. As they get to the exit pin of turn number 4, again, a boat to boat to boat, deck to deck to deck race right now. But on the outside, he's pulling away down the front stretch. It's Jimmy Shane in first place. Second place is Bernard, but J. Michael Kelly's going to challenge.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly is right with him. He's back by about a boat length, maybe 2, as they get to the entrance pin. Derek, coming to you. This is anybody's race.
Oh, yeah, call him deck to deck right now. I think he might take it in this turn. He is now in second, as far as I can tell, maybe half a boat length behind Jimmy Shane out in that outside lane number 3 as they work now along the Griggs backstretch.
Boy, those 3 boats were so tight at the exit pit of Tire Factory turn number 2.
Lap number 1, 154.546, 152 for the 91. They are cooking.
And it is the lead on the outside with Jimmy Shane, but J. Michael Kelly's holding on to that second place in lane number 2, just beside him. All of the boats will even up a little bit more as they get to the exit pit of turn number 4 onto the front stretch. But Jimmy Shane able to hold that speed around the outside of the course, and he has a half a rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly.
Lap 2,
Can
153.
JMK challenge?
He's going to give it a go. He's back about half a rooster tail, as you said. Shane's starting to open it up a little bit, but Kelly's not going to go away. Shane to the entrance pin right now. Kelly's still right now, right with him. He doesn't have a lot of room to work with, though, Derek. He's tight in that hole.
No, this turn will be where he makes his move if he can. And again, nearly flawless performance, it seems, so far from Jimmy Shane. And now we're seeing Bernard try and creep up on that inside lane down the Griggs backstretch, potentially challenging for that second place position.
It is the final lap. Can J. Michael Kelly challenge in lane number 2 as they dive into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 at the top end of the course? The race leader's on the outside. It's Jimmy Shane in the home street. J. Michael Kelly, he'll try to gain some ground at the exit pin of White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Onto the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane leading. Jimmy Shane's going to pull away for the checkered flag in heat number 5. He does it again in lane number 3, the checkered flag in heat 5. Jimmy Shane in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly in the 9. That's the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, and Goodman Real Estate. Jeff Bernard, the 91, finishes in 3rd place.
Interesting note, gentlemen. The fastest lap turned in by J. Michael Kelly. Lap number 2, 156. He was given the he was really giving the U1 a run for its money there on lap number 2. He had the fastest lap of all of the boats over the course of the race.
And is our lap record here not 155?
Yeah, but it was 159 yesterday. We had that change up.
Yeah, the home street.
Yeah.
He's going to go under 80 miles an hour. I think he's going to go outside of a buoy. I think he's going to jump the start.
There's going to be a mistake.
It's going to be a cascade of mistakes for the U1. All right, I'm going with Jimmy Shane. Are you kidding? The way that guy's been performing, he's a machine, jerk.
I'll tell you what, though, you bring up a good point in that Jimmy Shane has at times been his own worst enemy.
Well, you're right.
Thanks, Derek. I needed that.
But I don't think it's going to happen here.
Well,
Not at all.
One thing I'm going to say on this with regards to Jimmy Shane, the last 4 years here, he has not had a good start. He's been late and he's been shoved to the outside. I think this time he's just going to wind it up as he has all weekend, put it on the outside. I'm going with Kelly just because I think maybe they've got a surprise for him. But we're about to find out because we are inside 5 minutes to the start of the 2022 Hapo Columbia Cup. J. Michael Kelly says, thank you very much. I want to get out of here first, and he is gone in the Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities, the U9. JMK's away first, and then it is a beautiful shot of 3 hydroplanes coming out side by side by side. The Goodman Real Estate U91 with Jeff Bernard, and it is Jimmy Shane in the blue and white, the Miss Home Street, followed by the U11 Jokers Casino, Jamie Nielsen. That had to be a good view coming across your way.
Yeah, and you weren't kidding, Brad. J. Michael Kelly really shot out of there, which is interesting because more often than not, I think we're used to seeing that U11 Miss Joker Casinos boat and Jamie Nielsen get the jump out of the pits.
By the way, David Schick texted he's going with the 11 Jamie Nilsson Jokers Casino. Thanks, David.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's not on a limb.
Yeah.
That would be a huge upset.
I think so. I think the perfection with Jimmy Shane continues. And Brad, you're right. The last 2 times with a full field, Jimmy Shane found himself with nowhere to go, right? And even washed down the 11 with Tom Thompson. Remember that?
I certainly do.
This time it's not a full field. He'll have plenty of room to settle in wherever he wants, and I think he can win in lane number 4 if he gets pushed outside.
I think he can too, and I think some of it may be, number one, the start that J. Michael Kelly might get on an inside lane of him, and then how much speed is between Kelly and Shane. If you get Shane on the far outside, and maybe you get a Jeff Bernard in lane 3, who may occupy our friend Mr. Shane a little bit. We're all just talking in the hypothetical here, but right now that blue boat is the favorite. He's quick. He hasn't been able to win here, and he wants it badly.
Jimmy Shane's at Tire Factory turn number 2, heading to the Griggs backstretch.
Yeah, and he's been loving it again outside. Maybe moving a little more inward now, back and forth, but no reason to suspect that that's ultimately where he'll start the race.
Hey, Brad.
Yes.
Penny, for your thoughts.
Penny.
Winning every single heat this weekend and not doing especially well in the Tri-Cities the last couple of years, does that put additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, or is that not even an issue outside of what we're talking about right now?
I think if there is any additional pressure on Jimmy Shane, he is putting it on himself. I don't think the team is at all. Jimmy, just in the conversations I've had with him this weekend, and I've had a number of them, you're able to parse a little bit of what he says. He's very well aware of the issues he's had here over the last few years. He wants to get this right. I think if there is pressure, it's from within.
He had been near the inside of the course around the last lap, but at the top end of the course, he's now moved out wide. Now he's going to come back inside, but we've got the Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard jumping across the Esco Electric infield to claim lane number 1. We're at 1:55 to the start of the Hapo Columbia Cup final heat. Hydro Race fans in the Hydro Cities, are you ready? A championship is going to be crowned. Bernard down the front stretch.
Oh, watch this. Watch this. Oh, that's right. That's Shane. He doesn't care. He's going to cut, and then he's going to come back. Jeff Bernard is early. Jeff Bernard is going to have to go real deep down here. He's at 1:33 when he got down here. He's going all the way to the course markers. Derek, watch him.
Oh, yeah, all the way outside, making the most of this turn, swinging about as close to the outside of the course as he can here.
Jimmy Shane, meanwhile, jumping back through the Esco Electric DMC across to the front stretch with 1:09 remaining on the clock.
I'm not understanding this move.
Well, it's okay. Shane's going to
He's fine.
He's going to cut the course down here. He's fine. Watch Jimmy. He'll hang a left here and watch those buoys. Wait for it. There he'll go. Now he'll move to the outside. Keep an eye on Bernard and his speed. He's got to stay over 80 miles an hour. JMK is in good shape sitting in lane number 1. You got him, Michael.
Is Jamie Nielsen going to allow Jimmy Shane to settle into lane number 3?
I'm not sure Shane would even take it if, well, of course he's going to now. Look at him, he's going to go inside.
I think you're right. I think you're right. That's exactly what happened. Nielsen did not want to move into lane number 3. He's going to stay outside.
30 seconds. 30. Mark.
So in lane number 1, Goodman Real Estate with Jeff Bernard. Lane number 2 will be J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. Lane number 3, Jimmy Shane in the 1, Home Street. And the outside, it's going to be Jokers Casino, the 11, with Jamie Nielsen with 12, 10. You got it, Brad.
Go for it.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're a little bit early. Bernard's backing up throttle. 2, 1. I think Bernard was early, but Jimmy Shane is going to be the race leader heading down the front stretch. He's going to try to hold off J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it from lane number 3. Kelly's back behind him, and he's on an inside lane, but I'm sure Shane's going to give him plenty of room. Coming right at you, Derek.
Oh, that he is. I mean, Shane gutting it through the turn. J. Michael Kelly not that far behind, maybe a boat or 2 length between. And now you've got that Miss Joker Casino boat number 3, and Jamie Nielsen coming down in 3rd after Bernard, of course, with that early start.
He jumped.
Yeah, he did. We knew that at the start-finish line. It's clear that he did. So it is under official review. The race leader is Jimmy Shane. He's in lane number 3. He's been there all weekend long. Now, the difference here is, Brad, it's a 5-lap final. 5 laps. He'll have to hold off J. Michael Kelly on his inside. Onto the front stretch. Completing lap number 1, Jimmy Shane with the lead in the home street. Second place, J. Michael Kelly. He's passing Jeff Bernard. Bernard's on the inside in lane number 1. Jamie Nielsen is coming across start-finish line in 4th place right now. Back to turn number 1, Jimmy Shane, the race leader, and I don't know how J. Michael Kelly can chase him down in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities.
Now, Kelly's giving it everything he's got, but I'm telling you, this is a tall, tall order because Kelly's still got to be careful with Bernard in there. Even though Bernard's a lap down, officially having jumped.
Yeah, and Jimmy Shane again maintaining he's got about a rooster tail length lead, at least heading along the Griggs backstretch. It is interesting though seeing him in lane 3 instead of 4 with Jamie Nielsen opting to take that outside lane. Whether or not that's going to play into the comfort level or timing for Jimmy Shane really doesn't seem that way now as they head into Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
Now ready to complete lap number 2 of the Hapo Columbia Cup 2022. Thanks to Hapo Community Credit Union. On the front stretch, it's Jimmy Shane in the 1 home street across the start-finish line. Unfortunately, we are not getting our speed monitor. We don't know the lap speeds. Across now is J. Michael Kelly in the 9. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. And then in the Goodman Real Estate, Jeff Bernard in the 91.
Yeah, Jimmy Shane's already down here, and now J. Michael Kelly has moved to the outside. He had enough of trying to fight that slop on an inside lane, but now he's driving a much bigger course.
Yeah, and again now technically a lap ahead of Bernard, but that's still a boat that he's got to watch out for as he now tries to pass Bernard in the U91, going on the outside, trying to keep pace as best he can with Jimmy Shane.
So J. Michael Kelly was a little bit tired of being inside the tunnel there and decided to bounce outside a little bit to get some cleaner water and a cleaner look. It's lap number 3 for the Hapo Columbia Cup into White's Finish Furniture and Hardwoods turn number 4. Our Buffalo Brothers friends in turn number 4 at the exit pin. It's the race leader, Jimmy Shane in the 1 Home Street Bank. Miss Madison coming across the Mosteller start-finish line now.
And it's really a shame that the 91 jumped to start finish because we would have had we could be having a heck of a boat race for second place, but unfortunately with jumping the gun, it's a lap down.
Yeah, Shane's down here right now. He's got a 2.5, 3 rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly. I think Kelly's throwing in a towel on this one. If we know that Bernard has jumped the gun, so does Mike.
It's amazing how strong Jeff Bernard has continued to run, especially through the Slop and Tire Factory turn number 2. Wow, that boat was hopping out of the water. Up the Griggs backstretch into the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. The race leader, Jimmy Shane. He'll have about a lap and a quarter left to complete to take the checkered flag. The final heat for the Hapo Columbia Cup. Out of turn number 3, into turn number 4. Jimmy Shane to the front stretch. The boat has looked just absolutely perfect all weekend long.
It's been a
no
flawless
exception
weekend.
Here.
Flawless weekend. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out as he crosses the start-finish line.
Jimmy Shane, the race leader in the home street, Miss Madison. Boy, Jeff Bernard, he just won't go away even though he jumped the gun at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Shane's not going away either. He's just going away from everybody here. However, Derek, bring our leader around.
That he is coming around Tire Factory. Turn number 2 now, bobbling a little bit on that turn, but he's got such that lead right now, at least a 2 rooster tail lead over J. Michael Kelly, who's gunning it along the Griggs backstretch, trying to get this thing as close as possible as they prepare to head into Sun Pacific Energy turn 3.
And the Joker's Casino boat, Jamie Nielsen with 1 lap to go, just came across the Mosteller start-finish line. Back to the Sun Pacific Energy Shell Sun Market turn number 3. Wall of water off the skid pin one more time for Jimmy Shane in the Miss Madison Home Street Bank U1 to the exit pin at turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. The checkered flag is out.
There is no monkey on the back anymore. The first of the 2 Washington double dip is complete.
Checkered flag, Jimmy Shane in the home street, your 2022 champion for the Hapo Columbia Cup. Second place finish, the 9, J. Michael Kelly. Lynx Healthcare presents Miss Tri-Cities. For Jeff Bernard, he jumped the gun and has to make an additional lap. Jamie Nielsen is diving into the Shell Sun Market turn number 3 now and coming towards the Kennewick shoreline to take his checkered flag while Bernard still has the lap to complete in the 91 Goodman Real Estate.